What is the best movie quote you have ever heard? The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy, it's that I just don't care. Office Space. It looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately. I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob. Hess just a straight shooter with upper management written all over him. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I still use this all the time, 20 years later. You mean almost 30? You shut your damn mouth. We train young men to drop fire on people. But their commanders won't allow them to write duck on their airplanes because it's obscene. Where is this from? Apocalypse Now. Hell of a thing, killing a man. Take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have. George Carlin had a bit where he suggested substituting the word duck for the word kill in movies to make them less violent. Unforgiven is the best possible movie to try this with, including my favorite, he was the first man I ever fucked, Will. And he was taking a shit. He was taking a shit and I fucked him. It's too bad she won't live. But then again, who does? So many good ones from Blade Runner. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched C-beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhäuser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die. In response to, well sir, you are a cowardly son of a bitch. You just shot an unarmed man? Well, he should have armed himself if he's gonna decorate his saloon with my friend. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Bilbo. I love reading this quote in the book because it talks about how his purpose for saying this was to basically confuse everyone at the party. And yet it is a compliment if you think about it. Bit of a backhanded compliment if that. In the book, some of the guests are put off because he has rounded out their numbers to match his birthday, with the implication that they're not all there because he likes them. No, that wasn't quite it. They were offended because the number of special guests was equivalent to 1 gross, which is inappropriate sum when talking about possessions or supplies, but is in poor taste when talking about people. Well yes, that Bilbo and Frodo share a birthday, and Bilbo's 111 plus Frodo's 33 is the reason why he invited 1 gross, 144. I'd ask you about love, you'd probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could level you with her eyes, feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you. Who could rescue you from the depths of hell. And you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel, to have that love for her, be there forever, through anything, through cancer. And you wouldn't know about sitting up in the hospital room for 2 months, holding her hand, because the doctors could see in your eyes, that the terms visiting hours don't apply to you. You don't know about real loss, cause it only occurs when you've loved something more than you love yourself. From the movie Good Will Hunting. God damn. That is one of the best. And from one of the best movies. Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way, but, in 20 years if you're still living here, coming over to my house, watching the Patriots games, working construction, I'll duck and kill ya. That's not a threat, that's a fact, I'll fucking kill ya. No. No, no, no. No, duck you. You don't owe it to yourself. You owe it to me. Cause tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'll be 50. And I'll still be doing this shit. And that's alright, that's fine. I mean, you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket and you're too much of a pussy to cash it in. And that's bullshit. Cause I'd do anything to fucking have what you got. So would any of these fucking guys. It'd be an insult to us if you're still here in 20 years. Hanging around here is a fucking waste of your time. You don't know that. I know. No, you don't know that. Oh, I don't know that. Let me tell you what I do know. Every day I come by to pick you up. And we go out, we have a few drinks and a few laughs, and it's great. But you know what the best part of my day is? It's for about 10 seconds from when I pull up to the curb to when I get to your door. Because I think maybe I'll get up there and I'll knock on the door and you won't be there. No goodbye, no see you later, no nothing. Just left. I don't know much, but I know that. God, I love that movie. I honestly forget how great Ben Affleck's character is. You're absolutely right that this is a top moment in the film. Matt Damon has talked about it a lot, He genuinely feels bad that Ben got stereotyped as an idiot for a decade plus after that movie because Hess not, and his performance was amazing in that role. Which is what it was, a role. I think the rebound we saw with Argo, The Town, etc. has been awesome. I'm tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, lonely as a sparrow in the rain. I'm tired of never having me a buddy to be with to tell me where we's going to, coming from, or why. Mostly, I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel and hear in the world, every day. There's too much of it. It's like pieces of glass in my head, all the time. Can you understand? The Green Mile, for anyone who wants to know. The novel is one of Stephen King's absolute best. King's range is seen when he writes horror novels as well as wholesome tearjerkers like Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption. I am reminded of a story King always tells. He was at a bookstore once at an airport, and one lady sized him for a good minute before saying, "You're that guy who writes scary novels." "Yes, I am." "Well, I don't like such novels. I like me some good wholesome ones like that Shawshank Redemption." "I wrote Shawshank Redemption." "No, you didn't." "Well, I don't like such novels. I like me some good wholesome ones like that Shawshank Redemption." Isn't there prison rape in Shawshank Redemption? Do you think God stays in heaven because he, too, lives in fear of what he's created here on earth? How did a bad, or at least very cheesy, series of kids' spy movies end up with such a good quote? Robert Rodriguez. They're cheesy on purpose, it's just his style. All I have in this world is my balls and me word, and I don't break them for no one. I love rumors. Facts can be so misleading, where rumors, true or false, are often revealing. Christopher Waltz said it. Obviously I'm talking about the lesser-known Christopher who coined the phrase and was only later used in the movie. You can stop correcting me now. Hans Landa is my favorite villain ever. He's one of those characters that clearly thinks very highly of himself, but considering he's a colonel for the Nazis has probably put in the work to earn his reputation. And even though that work is utterly despicable, he clearly enjoys it and loves that he's good at it. And he wraps all of that up with such a menacing charm. That first scene is my favorite part of the whole movie, a movie with a lot of really good scenes. The way Waltz goes from friendly and cordial, sympathetic to the redundancy of his intrusion, and even embarrassed by his reputation and suddenly shifts into sheer, absolute, frigid menace is so satisfying to watch every single time. He relishes his job and title, every single second has teeming with joy of hunting down Jews. Waltz Ducking nailed that performance out of the park. One of the best performances of any character in any movie, ever. At the end when he's facing Brad Pitt and says, "We're not operating on the level of mutual respect I thought we were," and Brad Pitt says, "I guess not," the hurt he shows there. A perfect ending and tie back to the opening scene. I don't think I've ever seen a bad performance in a Tarantino movie. All of the actors put out award-winning performances every time. It's like the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were, and sometimes you didn't want to know the end because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad has happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow, even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer. I know now folks in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Samwise Gamgee. It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. Adventures only make one late for dinner. Good morning. What do you mean? Do you wish me a good morning, or mean that it is a good morning whether I want it or not, or that you feel good this morning, or that it is a morning to be good'n? Well, all of them at once I suppose.